Hello, welcome back to Fantastic Secrets Behind Fantastic Beasts. I'm Susan Chapal. Today we got several more cast announcements for Fantastic Beasts 2 by way of Pottermore. And among them is the exciting news that Jessica Williams of The Daily Show is set to play an unnamed role. And I've got a theory as to who it might be. Join me and other Fantastic Beasts fans here on the Beast Chaser Forum as we uncover the secrets, discover what's coming first, and play along with Rowling's newest game. Fandom was treated to an announcement that included many new cast members for Fantastic Beasts 2. As many of you already guessed long ago, Nicolas Flamel will play a role, with Brontis Jodorowsky cast to portray the 586-year-old Alchemist. And, as I mentioned in my last video, it was officially confirmed that Carmen Ejogo will return as Seraphina Picquery. Other character announcements include Wolf Roth as Spielman, Victoria Yeats as Bunty, Derek Riddle as Torquil Travers, which has been on IMDb for a while, Poppy Corby-Tuech as Rosier, and Cornel S. John as Arnold Guzman. It was strongly hinted that Rosier and Travers relate to two of Voldemort's Death Eaters of Harry Potter. But what was even more exciting to me was to see Jessica Williams named among the cast. I've long been a fan of hers from The Daily Show and can't wait to see her magic come to life in the wizarding world. Except her role, as well as Fiona Glasscott's, was not announced, meaning her character name may be significant. I've got a theory as to who Jessica may be playing, and it involves both Nicolas Flamel and Credence Barebone. The first possibility that occurred to me was that Jessica might be an American witch involved in MACUSA. There was a named witch, Beryl, in the first film whose speaking role got cut. We've already seen a cut role from the last time replaced with a bigger actor for the second film, and I wondered if this might be the case here. Another thought was that she might play the role of a relative of the Sudanese girl, who was an obscurial that Newt tried and failed to rescue. Newt could be trying to seek some answers to help with Credence. Or maybe Jessica will have a role in the magical circus. Jessica left The Daily Show at the end of June, so she could have been involved in the filming all this time, along with her other projects. We've seen her hanging out with Joe, pictured here as they celebrated their shared July 31st birthday together. I would not be at all surprised to see Jessica with a significant role that carries through to the end of the series. Perhaps as a hint to the actress's role, Rowling tweeted a curious response to Jessica's excitement at the announcement. There's no purple heron emoji, so, with owl and heart emojis. Purple heron. Is that supposed to be a hint at Jessica's Patronus or Animagi form? Or just an animal the actress personally likes? I'm going with the theory it's a hint to her role. Purple herons are not an American bird. Their range is Europe, Asia, and Africa, including Egypt. Now I want to read you something curious from a 2009 book called The Elixir of Immortality, a modern-day alchemist discovery of the Philosopher's Stone by Robert E. Cox. Hieroglyphic depictions of the Bennu bird closely resemble the purple heron, a migratory bird whose name comes from its beautiful purple plumage. The purple heron still migrates through Egypt in spring and autumn, with some wintering in the marshes of the Nile Delta. End quote. The Bennu played a significant role in one of the Egyptian creation myths by calling all of existence into being. One papyrus refers to the Bennu as the one who came into being by himself. Greeks and later alchemists equated the Bennu with the phoenix. Here's another curious detail from Cox on the creation of the Philosopher's Stone. The European alchemists claim that the final red elixir is not a bright red but a dark red, resembling congealed blood. As such, its color borders on purple, whereas the white elixir served as food for the body, the red or purple elixir served as food for the soul, enabling the soul to ascend the stairway to the sky, like a bird, and attain immortality. I've got more on this stairway coming in a later video. For now, though, I want to focus on the purple heron link to the Bennu, the phoenix, and alchemy. The legends that surround Nicolas Flamel state that he incorporated alchemical symbols all around him, carved into his homes and into the architectural structures of his many public endowments, as well as the manuscripts he wrote or illuminated that were attributed to him. Pictured here is a page from a 1700 manuscript, Trésor des Trésors, attributed to Flamel. It shows a phoenix on a flame, and one tending the young, feeding them with its own blood. Notice the dark red-purple color and the heron-like necks. That color bar at the bottom indicates the level of progression through the stages of spiritual alchemy. These birds are done. And by the way, a copy of this book was on display at the Science Museum in London. To guess at what all this may mean for Flamel's role in Fantastic Beasts, we need to go deeper than a passing reference to him as Dumbledore's alchemy partner, because a character listed as featured will not merely be an Easter egg for Potter fans. According to Flamel's legendary reputation, he was a man ardent in the pursuit of the spiritual knowledge of alchemy, generous with the byproduct of wealth that it brought him, and uninterested in accumulating riches for himself. He also shared a deep love and partnership with his wife, Perenelle. Perenelle was both an alchemist and philanthropist in her own right. She came to their marriage with much wealth. In the introduction to the Book of Hieroglyphical Figures attributed to Flamel, he speaks warmly of his wife, of her intelligence, generosity, her ability to keep a secret, and her strong understanding of alchemy, especially chrysopoeia. Chrysopoeia is the art of transmuting other metals into gold. This ancient alchemical process can be fully realized today through either a particle accelerator or a nuclear reactor. During either process, the atoms of one element can be transmuted into another element through nuclear reactions or radioactive decay. Unfortunately, these types of transmutations are extremely cost prohibitive for gold production. For the most part, the transmutation only occurs at the atomic level for a short period of time, usually less than 5 seconds, before the newly created gold atoms become unstable. What I want you to note here is the link from chrysopoeia to nuclear reactions. While the Harry Potter series highlighted the eternal life aspect of the Philosopher's Stone, I think Fantastic Beasts 2 and beyond will focus more on the ability to turn other metals into gold. The Nazis needed a lot of money to finance their expansion projects. They stole from the countries they invaded and stockpiled large quantities of gold and other treasures. If the Flamels had a reputation for creating gold, they would definitely be of interest to the Führer. And as Nicolas Flamel's character has been established historically as seeking spiritual enlightenment and uninterested in the gold, I can imagine he would do whatever it took to keep his treasures away from Hitler or Grindelwald, as he kept the Philosopher's Stone protected later from Voldemort, even though in the end it meant giving up his and his wife's eternal life together. With such a long life, both Flamels would have witnessed many wars, including the French Revolution, the Napoleonic Wars, and World War I. Surely they are tired of them. I believe they'll unite their experience in both history and alchemy toward fighting to end the war. They could form an integral part of either the French resistance to Hitler or the wizarding to Grindelwald. There is one more critical historical concept to know about the Flamels. They had no children. In Nicholas's words from the Book of Hieroglyphic Figures regarding his beloved wife, above all, she was exceedingly devout, and therefore, seeing herself without hope of children, and now well stricken in years, she began as I did, to think of God, and to give ourselves to the works of mercy. Together, the Flamels built and funded hospitals and churches and homes for widows and orphans. In Fantastic Beasts, there is one wounded orphan in desperate need of a loving mother. I believe Perenelle could find her true passion in diffusing the time bomb that is Credence. In a prior video, I showed just how destructive I believe the Obscurus could be by series end, as an atomic bomb destructive. Then, in a later video, I stated how I believed Credence himself would be healed and transformed. I showed how I thought he might have a very phoenix-like resurrection, perhaps transmuting into Fawkes himself. The Flamels would be the key people to aid this alchemical rebirth of Credence, and I believe it would be Perenelle, with her gift of Chrysopoeia, of transforming base metals into gold, who will harness the nuclear reaction of the Obscurus to power this transfiguration. That her giving and loving nature is going to be so touched by Credence that she is going to do whatever possible to help heal this poor broken boy. I just hope it will not require the sacrifice of her own blood to do so. And to get the action started, I can imagine a scenario where the way Newt finds out Credence is in Paris is through Perenelle. Perhaps she sees him in the circus in Paris and sends a message to Dumbledore, a message by way of her very distinctive purple heron Patronus. A purple heron tweeted from Joe to Jessica. A 580-year-old witch would be rather powerful, don't you think? And who better than the amazing Jessica Williams to portray her? In the end, I may be totally wrong about which character Jessica Williams is to play, but I still think that Perenelle could make an appearance as theorized. She and Nicholas would be best suited to be sought after by the Nazis and form a core resistance movement. And that gold? We don't have a tunneling Niffler with a powerful appetite for treasure for nothing. And if Jessica is not Perenelle, though that purple heron hint is hard to forget, I do believe she will be connected with alchemy somehow. Before we end, did you know that if you want to be notified whenever I post a new video, you must not only subscribe, but also click the bell symbol beside the subscribe button? And with Fantastic Beasts releasing new information at a fast pace now, I don't want you to miss out on the newest clues. So make sure you ring that bell. So what do you think? Will we get to see Jessica Williams not only as a witch but also an alchemist? Please let me know your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to check out my Fantastic Secrets Behind Fantastic Beasts or A Writer's Guide to Harry Potter at Amazon or your local bookseller.